Hello, Humanoids class. My name is Tater Revelo. I hope you guys are safe and doing well at home, or wherever you guys may be taking care of yourselves. And I'm excited about the opportunity to share with you guys a little bit about my project for Humanoids. So, to start, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a background on what I decided to do for my project this semester. So basically, um, I decided to use Arduino board and multiple sensors to specifically a reflectance sensor, two of them to be exact. And what I did was I attached them to a pair of eyeglasses in order to sense the eyeball. And the point of this project was to project the image of an eye onto LEDs that could be portrayed on something else as a humanoid robot feature. And this has many uses. For example, people with disabilities or some way to not physically be somewhere, but for a robot to express emotion of someone else, or specifically in this case, this is just focusing on eye movement, but someone could be in a completely different area and could have the sensor on and could portray uh, at least their eyeball movement to someone else in a different room through this LED projection screen. So I kind of took that idea and thought it was pretty cool to have like a live visual feed of someone else's eyeball, and that's kind of the motivation behind this project. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to completely finish my project. I used an Arduino Pro Mini, which doesn't have a built-in port, so it required an FTDI to connect to my computer. And unfortunately, yesterday when I was trying to make this video, it wasn't connecting to my computer, the port, to upload some code. I was making some changes to some of the LED lights, and yeah, I haven't gotten it to work since. So unfortunately, I'm not able to show you a full live demonstration of how my project turned out, which is kind of sad, but regardless, we're gonna push through, and I do have a video of what it's supposed to look like. So I will be walking through that, and I will be showing you guys my code and explaining a little bit of the key features there, running through some of the circuit diagrams, and that I had my wiring of the Arduino and the other tools and sensors that I have. And I'll try to get you guys to understand the vision that I was going for. So thanks for bearing with me.
Here is the equipment that I needed to complete this project. As you can see, I have an LED strip, a couple sensors for the reflectance sensors, the small Arduino, and a couple other small trinkets needed to complete the project. Here we can see a schematic of how I wired the LEDs and the two red reflectance sensors to sense the eyeball to the Arduino Pro Mini. This is a representation of how I set up the LEDs to mimic the shape of an eyeball. I will now go over the schematic in the next image of how I wired the LEDs sequentially in order to be able to code them correctly up on the Arduino IDE. It was very important that they follow this order because there's a very specific structure on the Arduino IDE to code each LED bulb to the specific colors that are needed to represent an eye. So as you can see in this diagram, you can see how each LED is labeled from 0 to 67. So there are 68 total LED squares in this representation of an eyeball. And specifically, as I will show in a second in the Arduino code, each LED corresponds to a specific color of the eye. So the middle corresponds to the pupil, then the iris, and then the white part of the eyeball. So all of that is coded in the Arduino code that I will show in a second. So here we can see the Arduino code, as I was mentioning before, and this particular segment of the code deals with the blink animation. So we have certain colors, certain LED pins set to what the eyelid should look like, what the pupil should look like, what the iris should look like. So essentially, when the reflectance sensors receive data that the LEDs, that the eyeball has blinked, the LEDs will respond to that and change accordingly to what has been coded, to what is appropriate for an eyeball to blink. And you will see this in the full demonstration video uh, that I have that will show the project had it been fully completed. So this is just a little bit of a snippet of the code to deal with the blinking animation.
So now I'm going to show you how I actually set up all these sensors and hooked up all the wires to the actual glasses that I used for the experiment. I took some more high resolution photos so that you can see a little clearly, hopefully, exactly how it looks. So it'll just basically be a pair of glasses with the sensors on the lenses. So I will show you that right now.
So here we have the image of the glasses with all the sensors and the boards pasted onto the frame. So as you can see, I connected it with a paper clip and the Arduino mini board with a little bit of tape on the side. The battery in the board with the fit perfectly on the side there. It's a little bulky, but it does the job. And as you can see here on the lenses, you have the two reflectance sensors, which face the eyeball and use infrared light to detect a reflectance off of the eyeball. And with that, I was able to code it up to adjust accordingly. So yeah, as you can see here again, this is just another view of it. It's a little, I wouldn't say the prettiest design. I definitely would like to add a little housing unit to the battery and Arduino board on the side there. That would definitely be another extension to the project to make it a little more sleek and definitely avoid the paper clips, maybe some kind of glue to kind of have a housing unit to support all the wires and chips. So finally, this video is what the project was intended to be like at completion. As you can see, the lady behind the ball is moving her eyes, and the LEDs on the ball are moving according to how she blinks. The ball can blink, it can turn left and right, and shut his eyes. So that is what the project was supposed to look like after, and I intend to get that final chip and finish the project up. This other clip is actually where my inspiration began with. It was with a nunchuck controlling an eyeball. And I wanted to see if I could actually have a live feed of an actual eye. And I was able to find some projects that were kind of similar. So it was overall very fun to kind of branch out from this original thing and kind of transform it to something a little more ambitious.
All in all, I really enjoyed the project. I learned a lot about the human eye during this experience. It was fun researching different sensors that could uh, detect the pupil and the eyeball movement. And it was cool to figure out a way to try to uh, display that onto an LED string. So, with the end goal of putting it on a robot's face. So, it was very fun to go through this process. So, I appreciate the experience and I look forward to getting that new part and completing this project. So, I look forward to hearing from you guys and what great projects you've done. And stay safe, everyone. Thank you for listening to me and take care. Have a great summer.